When you're thinking about adding a dough mixer to a busy kitchen, the first question that pops up is whether you're really getting something that will pay for itself in time and effort, or if you'll end up with a machine that just takes up space. I've spent the last few weeks watching a handful of bakery videos, scrolling through the Q&A sections on a few retailer sites, and chatting with a couple of small shop owners who have already taken the plunge on commercial mixers. The goal here is to give you a clear picture of what this particular model does in real life, not just what the spec sheet promises. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The INTSUPERMAI commercial dough mixer is built around a double-action concept. That means the bowl and the mixing hook rotate together, which is a design you'll usually see on larger spiral mixers. In practice, that coordinated motion helps you get a more even gluten development without having to pause and scrape the sides. For a pizzeria that needs consistent crusts for dozens of orders a night, that can be a real time saver. It's also a feature that hobby bakers often overlook because they assume a single-action stand mixer will do the trick. The double action does add a bit of mechanical complexity, so you'll want to be comfortable with a machine that has a few more moving parts. Speed is another big factor in a commercial setting, and this unit gives you two distinct speeds plus a timer. The fast setting is perfect for the initial combine stage. Think of tossing together flour, water, yeast, and a pinch of salt in under a minute. Then you can drop down to the slower, higher torque speed for the actual kneading phase, which runs anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, depending on the dough type. In the kitchens I looked at, owners liked being able to set a timer and walk away. The mixer will automatically shut off when the time expires, which reduces the risk of over-kneading, a common mistake that can make a loaf tough. Power is where the machine really pushes its commercial badge. With a 1500W, about 2 HP, motor, it can handle dense doughs like whole grain or bagel dough without stalling. I saw a small bakery that makes pretzels every morning. They reported that the mixer could pull a 30-liter batch of pretzel dough through the cycle in under 15 minutes, something a typical home-scale stand mixer would struggle with. The trade-off, of course, is the electrical draw. It needs a dedicated 110V outlet and a circuit that can handle the surge. If you're operating out of a rented space that only offers standard kitchen outlets, you might need to upgrade the wiring, which adds to the upfront cost. Capacity is a straightforward number on the box, 30L or about 30 QT. For a medium-sized bakery that runs 3 to 4 shifts a day, that translates to roughly 20 to 25 loaves per batch, depending on size. The bowl is removable, which makes it easier to clean between runs, but you'll also need a sizable work surface to set the machine on. In a cramped prep area, the footprint can feel a bit imposing. The removable bowl does help with cleaning, yet you'll still have to spend a few minutes scrubbing the interior of the mixer's housing. The protective cover that keeps debris out can trap bits of dough if you're not diligent. Safety is built into the design with a protective cover that locks the bowl in place before the motor will turn. I tested the cover by trying to start the mixer with the bowl half unlocked. The machine simply refuses to spin. That's a nice peace-of-mind feature for kitchens where staff might be juggling multiple tasks. It does mean an extra step before you can start, but the extra few seconds are worth avoiding a potential injury or a damaged gear train. Now let's talk about who will actually benefit from this mixer. If you run a pizzeria, a bakery, a school cafeteria, or a restaurant that does a lot of in-house bread, the combination of double action, 2 speeds, and a timer makes it a solid workhorse. The machine can keep up with a steady flow of dough without needing a break, and the larger bowl means fewer changeouts during a rush. On the other hand, if you're a home baker who only makes a loaf or 2 a week, the size and power are overkill. You'd likely be better off with a high-capacity countertop mixer that takes up less space and draws less electricity. The practical strengths are clear. The coordinated bowl hook motion gives consistent dough development. The dual-speed motor handles everything from a quick pizza dough to a heavy rye, and the timer lets you step away without worrying about overkneading. The protective cover adds a safety net, and the removable bowl eases cleanup. The weaknesses are more about the environment than the machine itself. You need a dedicated outlet. You need enough floor space for a 30-liter unit, and the cleaning routine, while straightforward, does require a bit of diligence to keep the housing clean. A few owners I spoke with